Hey, how's it going? Today, I thought of an interesting little idea, a little fun biz challenge I could give myself. I was thinking if I were to start an F2P account and I only wanted to build waifus, but I couldn't really rely on any five stars dropping, like Jean and Mona, how would that account go if I only built female characters? So I thought to myself, I'll use my main account and try this abyss with just four-star female four stars. Now all these four stars are maxed, just so I can see the max potential, right? So like, I'm not thinking to myself, oh, if only I had this constellation, or if only I had this kind of weapon. So right now, all of the four stars that I'm using are C6. Their weapons are R5, but they're all four-star weapons. No one is using a five-star weapon because in a new account, I can't guarantee that I'll get the weapon. It's easier to get four-star weapons to get refinements on it if I choose the banners correctly, but it's not that easy to guarantee five-star weapons and to guarantee anything else than that. So everyone here is kind of wearing what I feel like is the best in slot four-star weapon, and they're all, and it's all female four stars. I thought of doing like a female versus male characters, but there's only like five. There's literally like five four-star males, so that's kind of not really possible. So, and granted, I can't. Let's say I could get even as a free-to-play or low budget spender on that account, I would be able to get a five-star, a female five-star. I can't really guarantee that they'll be synergistic with these teams too. So I wanted to see if it would be possible, how annoying would it be, or whatever. Thankfully enough, Taser Sucrose is mostly female, so I just substitute out Barbara, and I actually get a healer in Taser Sucrose, but I lose the Hydro application. Then I went with the first team being Melt. So just like a Melt team, I don't really have Bennett with the Zhangling or the Tartaglia with Zhangling, so it's a little unfortunate, but hey, we don't need no man, right? I guess that's what this team is called. Oh gosh. But I guess the cool thing about this team for me too is that Rosario can give a crit rate to Yanfei, who kind of relies on it for the second part of her charge attack, as you would see. And then we have the double pyro going on for extra damage and things like that. And so that's what I thought about for the first team, and then Diona for the heals and shield. Then this team's already known. Officials here to battery Bedeau. Bedeau is arcing and helping us with AoE. Sucrose is shredding with VV as well as grouping, and then Barbara is there for the heals and slight hydro application. So that team already is kind of proven to be strong, but Jincho is necessary to complete it, and unfortunately, he is a guy. Yes, he looks like a girl, but he is a guy. So. Unfortunate if I wanted to do this kind of build. And so far, through these runs, personally speaking, yeah, I think I could get away with it. I think I could get away with only building females. And if I did get Mona and Jean, well, I think this would be a lot easier, actually. This wouldn't even be a problem to build. But I can't. I know a lot of people who don't have Mona or don't have Jean, so they get one or the other. So it's going to be very hard to, practice. Or what team comps I'll be able to get on a free-to-play / or light budget account. So, yeah. Just wanted to show off this account and just try to show off like the max potential of a full female squad, and whether or not, if you have any ideas of doing this and you can cop these characters, seeing whether or not it's possible. Because a lot of people, take a dump on like Yanfei in particular, but I love her for her range, how well she uses the Witsit, because all options of Witsit are nice on her. And with Bennett, essentially, you don't even have to care if the Witsit's downtime, because you're just using the crit damage, and you get enough attack that where it doesn't even matter. So she's such a really good character. Yeah, she eats up the Bennett, and yeah, you can use Zhangling instead. But I mean, hey, it's fun. But Zhangling's range is limited. What if in situations like this you need some range? Okay. Whoop-de-doo, use Yanfei. Jeez Louise, she's good. She's only a main DPS, and because of that, if you get up another Pyro DPS that's way better, you're not going to really be able to do anything with her, but and it's only at C4 where she gets a shield, so I don't even know if I would have to wait till get to C4 to use her, because there's multiple times in the run where I rely on her shield. But I also can rely on Diona's shield instead, so, you know, it's not that bad. I mean, it works, you know. But yeah, but I also rely on C6 as well for my charge attack damage, so it's a bit of a yikes. If I were to really do this, I would have to kind of wait till I get C6 Yanfei, and then in the meantime, what would I use, you know? So it's like, if you're gonna use Yanfei as a DPS without C6 or C4, at least C2, maybe. Then I could say like, so you probably have to wait till, because she's gonna be the biggest variable in this team comp. Is because like C2 is really kind of important, at least to get that double to get that extra crit rate, and you know, and stuff like that. So it's like, oof. And then I'm also using Zhangling C4, so it's like, I wonder how a C0 version of this team would do. Like for Rosaria, I think I still feel like she'll do well. Obviously, her ult won't last as long. But the other and she won't get as much energy back, right, without her constellations. But I could still see her working as intended. Diona too, but her heals are way better at C6, and she's giving us a lot of EM as well. So it's like, oh my gosh, is this team really only possible because they're all maxed out? You know, it's making me question that a little bit, because as I'm watching it, I'm kind of seeing how many constellations I'm utilizing. And I'm like, oh man. But at least, but when it comes to this team, the Taser Sucrose team, it's not really like, I can see it like, okay, other than Official, I'm not really using that many constellations. Like Bedeau, yeah, I'm using C2 and C1. And C6, of course, but like I could still see her doing pretty well without those constellations, to be honest. Then for Official, I kind of need the directed Oz, like you know, to be able to direct Oz with my autos. So C6 is kind of important for Official, so that's a little bit annoying. It's not that it's hard to get her, but it'll take me a while to get her. So that's a bit of a yikes. And Sucrose, yeah, I'm kind of taking advantage of C4 with the reset of her skill, and I'm obviously using C1 a lot, but and C2. And C6, so I am using all the constellations for her, but I think with a minimum of C1 I could do well. But she doesn't really show up on favorable banners that much, so it's kind of like, oh gosh. So as I play more and more, and I see like the constellations I'm using, type of thing, the weapons I'm not too worried about of getting, you know, but I am worried about the constellations, because this team could definitely play a lot less optimal. That's also what I'm interested in. If anyone does have low constellations of all these characters and wants to, you know, but they have them built and you want to test it out on your end, that would be really cool to see. Just let me know if you're able to try that team out and see how well they do, because it's I'm very curious about it. But even now, you'll see that the first two floors aren't too hard, because right now I'm only showing the first two floors, 9 and 10, with this team. And yeah, you can see me just trucking through it like it's nothing really. But when we go on to the next floor, when we go on to the like the floor 11 and 12, you're gonna see really the viability of this team, because remember, this is a maxed out team. The weapons aren't 90. Weapons aren't 90 because I'm, you know, like I was using the crystals on other things, but they are 80 ascended, right? So I'm trying to think to myself, well, I don't want to spoil the next video, but you'll see. How well this team does, because it has to do very well, because my other account won't have the constellations or the refinements on the books, so it's gonna like unless I get better artifacts, I guess on the other account it's gonna do worse. It's gonna do way worse than this, so I have to do very, very well on this account if I'm gonna hope to build it on another account, or tell people whether or not they want to build a full female account. But for now, it is looking like it's passing the first two floors test. But for any hardcore Genshin players, that's going to be an interesting one. But, yeah. I guess for now we can enjoy the final floor and see just how it does. I know a lot of people might be interested in how well these teams do on floor 11, chamber 3. We'll see that in the next video as well. Especially the pyro hypostasis, because that one is an annoying boss. I remember when we had a lot of issues with the heralds and the lectors. Well, on their own, they're not really bad, to be honest. But once you put them together, when you put them together in slowing waters, oh, they are painful. Otherwise, it's pretty chill. Now, here are the builds I have. Don't worry about the Refinement 5 Blackcliff, because she doesn't get any kills most of the time, so it doesn't even proc. I don't have any fancy sets on them, just kind of the best pieces I can get, which is most likely what I'll be doing. Trying to go for the magic 1-to-2 ratio as much as possible. Obviously not on healers, but... my Diona stacked out with ER and healing. Noblesse for the boost. Got all her talents leveled up. My Yanfei DPS. Got her on that Witsip. Crimson, C6. I still could level her talents a bit more. Maybe that can help out with some runs too. Yep. Got her all built out as well. And my Folium Sucrose for Shred and Swirl. Well, that's the video. Thanks for watching.